Welcome to Skedlive.com. It's Thursday, October 14th. I'm Emma Harris. Here's what is making news now. The US-Canada land border reopens to non-essential travel after 19 months of closure. While it is welcome news to businesses nearby, it is not yet a celebration to all. The CDC does not recognize those with mixed COVID-19 vaccines, and the US has not yet announced how it will address this. Information and additional guidance will be released in the coming weeks. Canadian journalists have been the recent target of online hate and discrimination. This was prompted after a political leader told the public to play dirty towards 3 particular journalists. I went deep into this topic on Skedlive.com, getting different perspectives for what this means for the future of journalism. Check out the full story. Beirut witnessed its worst violence in over a decade as gunfire broke out at a protest. The protest called for the removal of the popular judge leading the probe into last year's deadly blast. Most recent reports state that more than 30 people have been injured and at least 6 have died. Space is starting to get crowded. Billionaires Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, and Elon Musk are among those heading into space. Skedlive's Hasil Mehta takes a deep dive with experts in his latest story. He discusses space tourism and its increase in popularity in the last year, taking over scientific motivation. For more on this story, let's go to Rama Ali for entertainment.
Thanks, Emma. I'm Rama Ali. Here's what's making news in entertainment. Star Trek hero William Shatner is back on Earth. The 90-year-old blasted into space on Wednesday, making him the oldest person in space. Shatner and 3 other passengers soared in a ship built by Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company. They reached an altitude of 107 kilometers over the West Texas desert, then safely parachuted back to Earth in a flight that lasted over 10 minutes. Skedlive reporter Hasil Mehta speaks more on this and space tourism in his latest story. Check it out on Skedlive.com. Comedian Dave Chappelle's special, The Closer, will not be removed from Netflix. This comes after GLAAD and the Black Justice Coalition were outraged over comments aimed at the transgender and LGBTQ+ communities. A top Netflix executive said that Chappelle's special does not cross the line on hate. It will remain on the streaming service despite fallout over the comedian's remarks about the transgender community. Halloween Kills, the sequel to the most recent Halloween film, premieres this weekend. Jamie Lee Curtis wore her mother Janet Leigh's iconic dress from the horror classic Psycho at the Halloween premiere Tuesday night. The film was originally set to premiere last year but was delayed due to the pandemic. Canada Post has revealed a commemorative stamp honoring late acting legend Christopher Plummer. The Toronto-born stage and screen star played a huge role in selecting the stamp design before his death at 91 back in February. The stamp features illustrations of Plummer in several roles from his 70-year career. Plummer appeared in more than 200 screens, projects, and performed on stages around the world. That's it for entertainment. I'm Rama Ali. Let's go to Tatiana Furtado for lifestyle.
Thank you, Rama. Now for lifestyle. The winning photos of the 2021 Wildlife Photographer of the Year have just been announced. The images will be on display at the Natural History Museum in London, England. Adam Oswell captured a young elephant performing underwater for a crowd of zoo visitors. Majid Ali photographed a beautiful portrait of a gorilla titled Under the Rain. Laurent Balista was the winner of the competition. It took him 5 years to get this rare underwater shot. These camouflage groupers only spawn once a year on a full moon. South Asian artists are feeling a lack of representation on social media platforms. Artist Jaina Gandhi is using Instagram to showcase her own representation of South Asian art. Her favorite piece is a digital print of a side profile of an Indian woman. For more, check out my story on Skedlive.com. Superman's son, John Kent, is bisexual in the new comics. In the latest DC issue, Superman's son of Kal-El, John kisses reporter Jay Nakamura. Writer Tom Taylor commented on the new issue on Twitter. He said, "I've always said everyone needs heroes and everyone deserves to see themselves in their heroes." It will be released on November 9th. The world's first lung transplant delivered by drone was completed by the Toronto University Health Network. Ottawa resident Alain Hodak was the transplant recipient. Alain was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis in 2019. The drone delivered 1.5 kilometers from Toronto Western Hospital to Toronto General Hospital. Surgeon-in-Chief Dr. Shaf Kashafi was on the roof waiting for the delivery. I'm Tatiana Furtado. Now let's check out on Christina Chandrira for more on health.
Thank you, Tatiana. Welcome to Skedline's Health. I'm Christina Chandrira. The provincial government will announce its new plan for lifting more of Ontario's COVID-19 public health restrictions next week, CBC News reports. Senior official in Ford government said on Wednesday the province will be exiting Step 3 of roadmap to reopen by easing pandemic restrictions. This implies ending capacity limits in public places that require proof of vaccination to enter. Officials say it is time to unveil a revised pandemic plan. The plan takes into account provincial success with vaccine rollout while closely monitoring the spread of COVID-19's Delta variant. The Ontario government will not overturn other essential public health measures. Therefore, indoor masking requirements will still remain in place. The officials did not reveal when the new plan would be announced, refusing to specify when the moderated measures would take effect. The World Health Organization honors the late Henrietta Lacks with the Director General's Award. The World Health Organization acknowledges the world-changing legacy of this Black American woman who died of cervical cancer 70 years ago. As Henrietta sought treatment, the researchers took biopsies of her body without her knowledge or consent. The samples, known as HeLa cells, became the first immortal cell line, leading to numerous scientific breakthroughs, such as HPV and polio vaccines, cancer and HIV drugs, as well as critical COVID-19 research. The World Health Organization acknowledges the importance of recognizing past scientific injustices and encouraging racial equity in health and science, said Dr. Tedros in his statement yesterday. He added, "This is an opportunity to recognize women, particularly of color, who have made incredible but often unseen contributions to medical science." The World Health Organization reports the disease outbreak in Venezuela. Since October 1st, Venezuela National Focal Point reported 7 confirmed human cases of yellow fever. 6 of the 7 cases were not vaccinated. Of these, 3 were asymptomatic, and the rest developed symptoms presented as fever, headache, and skin rash. For now, no deaths were reported among the confirmed cases. Additionally, 10 epizootics among non-human primates were reported as part of routine national surveillance. The World Health Organization reports Venezuela is at high risk for yellow fever with endemic virus transmission and is a priority country for the global yellow fever elimination strategy. The increased number of human cases and epizootics is also concerning due to the persistence of high viral circulation. National and local health authorities are strengthening surveillance and laboratory diagnosis, deploying and rolling out the yellow fever vaccine in the country. Back home, optometrists in Ontario keep withholding all the OHIP-covered services to push the government to increase the payment after claims of underfunding. Go to Skedlive.com to read Rahma Ali's story on how this strike affects citizens. This is everything for today's health. But now let's see what Benedict Rhodes has for sports.
Thanks, Christina. My name is Benedict Rhodes, and here are your top sports stories of the day. We start at BMO Field in Toronto, where the Canadian men's national soccer team was in action at BMO Field, taking on Panama in a crucial World Cup qualifying match. Superstar Alphonso Davies led the way, scoring the winning goal with a Herculean effort, run 80 yards down the pitch, steal the ball from a defender, and fire the ball past the goalkeeper at his near post. Tajon Buchanan and Jonathan David also scored for Canada in a 4-1 victory in front of over 26,000 fans in Toronto, pushing them into the top 3 automatic World Cup qualification spots. For more on the Canadian men's and women's national soccer teams, check out my podcast on Skedline.com this week with Mitchell Tierney and Emily Wilson, discussing all the top stories around our Canadian national team programs. While Canada was playing, the Toronto Maple Leafs were in action at Scotiabank Arena across the city, one of 5 Canadian teams beginning their 2021-22 NHL seasons on Wednesday. The Maple Leafs beat the Montreal Canadiens 2-1 on a third-period goal from William Nylander, while the Winnipeg Jets lost 4-1 to the Anaheim Ducks in their opener. Kyle Turris scored the winning goal as the Edmonton Oilers beat the Vancouver Canucks in a shootout in the third and final game involving the Canadian teams. The Ottawa Senators kick off their season tonight against the Maple Leafs at the Canadian Tire Centre, while the Calgary Flames begin their season on Saturday night in a Battle of Alberta against the Oilers. We finished with the Humber Hawks baseball team, who are enjoying a very successful season thus far. Winning the OCAA championship is the goal and expectation for this team, and they play their final game of the regular season on Friday night against Centennial College. The Hawks are 8-3 on the year and look to continue their hot run of form into the postseason. On Skedlive.com, you'll also find an interview with Hawks head coach Troy Black about the season thus far and expectations for the rest of the year. Now over to Ali Irfan with the weather.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ali, and I'm here with my camera crew, Natasha. I'm here at Lakeshore Boulevard, and it's a beautiful sunny morning. People are enjoying the morning by going on rides, going for walks. Even the ducks are enjoying themselves. So why don't you get off work, wake up in the morning, and get outside and enjoy the weather before the winter hits. And now we're going to go get inside to the studio for the 5-day forecast. This is the 5-day forecast for Toronto. Today is mainly cloudy with a high of 22 degrees and a low of 16 at night and mainly cloudy again. Tomorrow is a high of 20 and a low of 10, and it will be cloudy with a chance of showers in the morning and early in the afternoon and a risk of thunderstorm later in the afternoon. Saturday will have a high of 14 and a low of 7 with the periods of rain and a small chance of showers at night. Sunday will have a high of 13 and a low of 7 with a small chance of showers. Monday will have a high of 16 and a low of 8 with cloudy periods. The rainy and midsummer-like temperatures will hang on across southern Ontario because of a hurricane that used to be called Pamela in the Pacific Ocean. This was all the news for the week. Thank you for listening to Skedlive. Check out skedline.com for all the recent news and stories. This is Ali Irfan. See you all next week.